Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Picture This, the Best Picture Movie Review Show, hosted by me for the second week in a row. Only this time, Alex isn't here I don't know. He's not here this week, so I'm here. Matthew, you're on the show again.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
Good. We're starting out the 70s very, very strong.
I would agree, I think. Well, whatever. Anyway, joining us once again, it is Adelaide Spence. Spence, how are you?
War movies. Keep fucking watching them.
And joining us for our trip through the 1970s, the best decade or so we've been told of Best Picture winners, it is the King, Caleb Coho. Coho, how you doing?
What is it good for? Giving me and Spence intense depression.
Accurate. So, if you haven't guessed already, we watched Patton this week, and let me tell you, I liked it a little bit less this time, but we'll get to that.
A whole star less.
I guess we can
less.
start with ratings. We'll start with the bottom. Spence, kick us off.
You don't know what I am, Jack. Yeah. I was on Letterboxd. Thank you, Coho. And I see a lot of people giving this like 4 or 3.5. Like, yo, maybe this is worth it. Oh, it's 3 hours. I'll also give it a chance. I mean, I haven't been this checked out of a movie in a minute, and I'm not saying that like, oh, I wasn't paying attention. I had nothing going on. No, this is the worst kind of movie where it's 3 hours, nothing fucking happens. And again, it's about war. I don't give a fuck about war. I don't want to sit down and watch. It's supposed to be fucking sad shit. It's not even sad. It's just fucking boring. Also, Patton, I don't like. Oh yeah, you can have a lead character who is like, oh, he's a bad guy, but he's compelling. No, I'm just like, I don't want to watch this dude. You can like the movie. I'm not gonna fucking judge anyone who likes this. I don't want to watch this ever again.
Valid. Coho, you have the next lowest rating. In fact, you are tied for the lowest rating. Tell us why.
I'm actually almost entirely with Spence, and I hate being on this side of our agreement. I think the only reason this isn't lower is because George C. Scott is like undeniably great. I think he's just really good. His opening monologue is fantastic. I think that this movie starts in a way where I was like, maybe I'll be good. And then it never catches up to that point again for me. Where from here, it's just a lot of, I don't want to say meandering, but it's a lot of...
It's repetitive.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's very repetitive. It's a movie that just, I get exhausted by it. Maybe that's the point, but like, that doesn't work for me. I don't want to be exhausted. So I'm already exhausted. So like, it just wore me out, disinterested me. I don't think Patton's a very compelling character. I don't think anyone in this movie is doing much of anything I care about. I think Coppola winning a screenplay Oscar for this is weird as shit because it's not a good script. I think Franklin J. Schaffner winning his Oscar for directing this is weird as shit because it's nowhere near the best movie he's ever made. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually extremely let down by this, and maybe I was expecting something different, but like I just was not taken by this one whatsoever.
Totally fair. Alex is not here today. However, Alex has the next lowest with a just a solid 3 stars. Matthew, once again, we have a tie. Tell us why.
Yeah, I mean this is a very boring movie. I think the reason that this gets bumped up to a 3 is because of George C. Scott. I think his performance really just elevates everything and like makes it worthwhile, but I feel like it's just really repetitive, like Coho was saying, and it's 3 hours long, so it just doesn't feel like it goes anywhere. It's pretty boring, but there's also just great production and technical value, at least, to bring it up to 3.
I have it the highest. Shocker, I know. It's a 3.5 for me. I really liked it the first time I saw it. I thought that that George C. Scott was phenomenal. He still is, for the record. I didn't feel the runtime so much on my first watch. This dragged this time around. I don't know if it was just it was just an off day for me, but I did not have as good time with it as I did last time. I do think the technical aspects of this movie are very good. The editing is solid. Cinematography is great. There are some great shots in this movie, like the fucking overlay we've got, like the thumbnail. That's a great shot. And of course, we've mentioned it. Patton, phenomenal. I will be watching that when we're done this. Anyway,
I'm not waiting. I'm sorry.
fair. But anyway.
No, I say here's the thing. Let's be honest with ourselves. Let's just be honest with ourselves. 1 second. We're gonna full stop the show.
Sure, right now.
Patton,
Oh,
mid. None of us like Jack. 3.5 stars. Even if that means you like it, none of us need to sit here for 45 minutes to talk about this movie and subject ourselves to wait for Secret Invasion. So guess what,
Wait,
folks?
let's watch it right
Segment
fucking now.
In a segment. Welcome, Matthew. Hit the song. Spencer's gonna do the song. Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Power Hour. We're gonna trailer react to Secret Invasion right now in the middle of Patton, because who gives a shit about this bullshit? Well, show me Martin Freeman, baby. Who's bringing it up?
I got it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Jordan logged it.
Okay, yeah,
I
this
did a-
one as well happened.
I did a No Way Home trailer reaction with Zach
this
Ford.
is the most chaotic, unsynchronized, unplanned show with 5 people who only somewhat give a fuck about what we're doing at this point. So let's just pretend that let's throw away all this pretense and get into the fact that we love all this. Wait, this has already come out, isn't it?
This is a new one? There's a new trailer. This is
yeah. I was gonna say I seen the shot. There's a new trailer, isn't there?
Yeah, they just came out like 5 minutes ago.
10 hours ago. Fuck? Oh, shut the fuck up.
No,
Rolla, it's time.
I don't know.
What's this?
I don't think this is it.
This is my war,
Okay.
and I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want.
The Skrull Empire has taken possession of your planet. I will require S.H.I.E.L.D.'s full surrender.
How much do you know about your security detail?
What do you mean, how much do I know about him?
I feel like this is fake.
We're gonna
I
be
don't think
very
it's
careful now.
Yeah, all these are. This is fake. There are a lot of shots of this.
How
that are
about I
some
tell
other
you
things.
my secret?
You don't have the right one.
When you talk with yours,
Theta protocol. Is it ready?
Yeah, this is not real.
This is just the beginning.
This isn't
You're in
real.
no shape for this fight that lies before us.
Yeah, this is not the right one. That was all stuff that's not. That's all.
Oh, what?
That was not the real trailer.
I'll send it.
That
to
was
the
an
private
edit.
chat.
You got
There.
got.
Yeah, there we go.
We don't screen
That-
that.
I'll send it.
Assumed.
Because there's all sorts of clips in there from the
Okay, this
other one.
is on Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I sent it to the chat too.
Oh, I
Okay,
gotta pull it
let's
up.
hope-
Jack, there you go.
Okay. Take 2.
Let's hope
Sure.
this is done.
since you've been gone, things have gotten much worse. Why do you think I came back?
You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us, old friend.
This is personal.
Very few of us know about the wars fought in the shadows that have raged on this planet. Do you feel responsible?
Where are the Avengers? This war is one I have to fight. Alone.
You're the most wanted man on the planet.
You don't know what they have planned for you.
The great Nick Fury. One last fight.
I'm so sold. That looks
Okay,
so
that
sick.
looks great. I'm sorry.
So like that gives me like Winter Soldier vibes.
Yeah.
I'm so in. That feels like that harkens back to Phase 2 MCU for me with like flavors of Phase 3, and that's what I like have been saying while watching through it again is I miss the like beginnings of the MCU where it felt small, but like we still felt like there was big implications for the little things that happen and the little adventures that happen. That makes me believe there's a reason why Captain America's fighting something on his own, and now we're at the point where it's like after Avengers Endgame. Everything is an Avengers level threat. There's no reason for most of these to be fought by one individual, except that the Avengers don't know about it. So, like Shang-Chi, it makes sense for there not to be Avengers involved yet. But No Way Home makes no sense for like the Avengers to not get involved outside of Strange and Spider-Man and stuff like that. Even though I think No Way Home is perfect, and I'm not arguing. But like Multiverse of Madness probably should have Avenger level characters in it. Like there's like Ant-Man and the Wasp is taken to another realm, so the Avengers can't be in it. But like I feel like we're getting to a point where it's like there's a full-on war with Wakanda. Why aren't there any Avengers checking up on Wakanda? Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I think the universe is too big, and I like that this feels like we're going to have something really small in it again. So that's exciting.
Also, you have Emilia Clarke in this show, so that's a really great way to get me to watch it.
Olivia Colman.
We think Kingsley Benadir's playing like the Super Skrull, right? He's going to be like the Super
Like
Skrull.
with this, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be sick if he's the Super Skrull.
But before
He was in One Night in Miami, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Malcolm X in that movie.
Yeah, okay, that's okay. Okay, that makes me really excited.
He's great. Yeah.
He's
I like that whoa. I like that Don Cheadle and Martin Freeman are in it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that we're basically taking all of the government characters from the previous movies and putting them in one story where all of them are together, where you have Colby Smulders, Martin Freeman, and like Samuel Jackson, Don Cheadle, all the government level employees of the MCU working together on this thing is really fun. How many people do we think are going to end up being Skrulls? Like the implication where it's like this hero is a Skrull. Because that's the thing. That's the thing about Secret Invasion in the comics that was like, oh, this is nuts, is when they're like, Elektra gets killed at the start of the comic book, and then she's revealed to be a Skrull, and the Elektra that we've known for the last 30 years hasn't been around.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's how we know that certain characters have not been those characters for decades. Like Hank Pym has not been Hank Pym since the 70s. So then that character is fundamentally different going forward. So like that. So like I think that would be really cool. And I don't know if they're gonna do that. But I think it'd be nuts if they're like Don Cheadle's been a Skrull since Iron Man 3 or some shit, where it's like Don Cheadle's been a Skrull. Martin Freeman's a Skrull.
No. Don Cheadle's War Machine's been a Skrull since Don Cheadle showed up. That guy's not War Machine.
That would be funny if like ever since we've known Don Cheadle, he's been a Skrull.
That would be.
And then Terrence Howard comes back, and they're just like, God damn, Rhodey's been gone a long fucking time.
He shows up, turns his head around this time, baby, and he summons like an iron heart suit or something.
That'd be stupid as shit, but it'd be funny. I don't know. I think that looks dope as fuck. Certainly better than Patton.
Which that's a 2.7 average rating from us. Oof.
All right, let's get through this shit. Spence, hit the song. Welcome back to How Gay Is My Valley, the podcast where we rank every best picture winner based on how gay it is. This movie's not very gay.
This dude's probably homophobic, honestly. Like with all the shit that he says to other people.
Yeah. I feel like MASH would be the more gay equivalent of this because they all like really
Mashing
like
dicks.
each other in MASH.
Mhm.
They're mashing dicks at MASH. I feel like MASH would be the more homoerotic.
I mean, there's a lot of men in this movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of men, but like, are these men portrayed in a way where it's like they like each other in sexual ways, or are they just men?
Men.
Manly men.
We're getting to the point. We're getting to that point where it's like sonic dissonance in the word. It means losing all of its meaning.
Men, yeah, they don't matter. All right, Jack, pull up the list.
Yeah, give me a sec. I don't have my monitor with me, so I'm doing so I have to go to the actual tab for it. How gay was my valley? There it is. Edit. Now pull it up. There we go. Where are we putting it?
Send it right to the bottom. We'll see where it goes from there. I'd put it below On the Waterfront. I feel like they're not homophobic enough to beat this. Coho. Above or below In the Heat of the Night.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'd definitely say above In the Heat of the Night. I'd say below
Yeah.
On the Waterfront.
That's fine.
Okay.
That works for me. All right, Patton cracking the bottom 3 in our gayness ranking for the best
All right,
picture.
Spence, hit the song. Okay, Matthew, hit the song.
Asian.
All right, welcome back to $1 Million Racist, the podcast where we rank every best picture winner based on how racist it is. Patton, probably a very racist man. Probably. Let's rank it. How actively racist do we think this movie is, though?
I mean,
Not the most.
It's not really actively racist.
not
It's just
active.
like the vibe.
They just vibes.
The vibe that it puts out makes me concerned about its racism. It is
Although-
definitely more racist than. Wait, why is Ben-Hur so high?
I don't
I'm
remember.
confused. I'm confused why Ben-Hur is that high. Is it because the Romans were killing Jews? Because
Oh wait, no, I think it was because brown face.
Oh, I mean that's fair then.
Okay.
That's fair. Never mind. I also like killing Jews is a good reason to put it that high on $1 Million Racist.
Yeah.
We probably should have put killing Nazis on Ben-Hur because they're killing Jews. I would say it's the vibe. I would put it below Broadway Melody, above On the Waterfront.
You know what? I can support that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
All
okay.
right.
All
that's
right,
me.
Pat's gonna crack top 20 on racism. Matthew, hit the song.
Asian.
All right, Jack, hit the song. We haven't gotten to do this in a minute. Welcome back to Killing Nazis, the podcast where we rank every movie involving the murder of Nazis. Let's bring this shit up. It's been a minute since we gotten to talk about it. So let's brush off the cobwebs. What was the last movie we put on this list? Was it Sound of Music?
Honestly,
Sound of Music. Sound of Music.
so
right?
so
Yeah.
hear me out.
No, we put
Oh.
in the night on there because Confederates.
Oh, the Confederates. Yeah.
Yeah.
This should be at least number 3
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
he
I
is
think so.
so anti-Nazi that he's going to abuse his own men to get there.
Yeah, I think he's very anti-Nazi. I would not put it. Maybe I would put.
Put it above Sound of Music because one of the kids tries to fuck a Nazi.
Yeah, good point.
That's
Put it
fair.
above the Sound of Music. Not
There's a lot of
Casablanca.
there's a lot of explosions in.
I don't think you can put it above Casablanca, where Humphrey Bogart's actively trolling the fuck out of Nazis and then
Yeah.
like embarrassing them and killing them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let's put Patton at number 2.
That
yeah.
works for me.
Good for you, Patton. You killed some Nazis. Jack, at the song.
Boy!
All right, who wants to be Alex this week?
What does he have?
You thought it was done, but it's not.
It is.
Someone hit the song.
No, that bit is done.
No, it's not. Hit the song. Hit the song.
Oh, hit the song.
Highway to the Danger Zone. Welcome back to Hold My Hand, the podcast of the podcast where we ask, is it better than Top Gun Maverick, the rightful Best Picture winner of this year, unlawfully robbed of its crown by Everything Everywhere All at Once? Recount the ballots at the Oscars. It should be Top Gun Maverick. Let's bring up the list. Hold My Hand. Patton, not better than Top Gun Maverick, especially in a war movie for war movie setting. Maverick, dunking on it. We agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Top Gun Maverick better than Patton. The consensus is made. Great.
I think
all
every
right.
movie we watched since the Oscars has been better than Patton. Or better than, or worse than Top Gun Maverick, I should say.
I mean,
Yes.
the movie that won Best Picture is worse than Top Gun Maverick, but we'll get to that.
True. Clearly.
All right. So, we should probably write this shit.
Jack, literally 6 and 7. They're right there.
Let's write this shit.
Coho. Coho. I say this every time we do the segment.
No, I'm not saying rank Hold My Hand. I'm saying rank the movie.
Rank the
One
you
the
didn't
picture
do the
this list.
segment, so I still thought you were doing that.
Highway to the Danger Zone. Thank you.
My
All right.
apologies.
Pull up the list.
Yeah, let's do this.
All right. Where is my own list?
Oh, I still have to update
Oh, I
mine.
need to do my own list.
All right.
Okay, let's give it a few spots.
Yeah. It's not as bad as some of these.
Yeah, it's gotta go. I would. Whoa.
All right, go down.
Way
Go
down.
down.
Way down. I would put it below Lawrence of Arabia for starters.
I agree.
I put it above Lawrence of Arabia.
Thank you.
Below Gentleman's Agreement.
I definitely
No,
would go
this is
below Gentleman's Agreement. I
categorically
think Lawrence of
below
Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia is just a better made movie.
Okay, wait. Can I do this?
This is true.
Okay,
Lawrence of Arabia
Let's
is
put it
a
at
better
Lawrence of Arabia and stop it right there because
Okay,
Alex
below
said
Lawrence of
to
Arabia.
me- Okay, never mind. Okay,
Below Lawrence of Arabia. You're right. It is.
There we go.
It is better shot.
Alex told me it's
I
Lawrence
support
of
that.
Arabia, but it's less dynamic.
Exactly.
All right. With that, Lawrence of Arabia
Jesus,
finally.
Midnight Cowboys. Hi.
Lawrence of Arabia finally escapes the bottom 10 Best Picture winners from
As it
this
should.
panel. Debatable. Anyway,
Patton barely misses my bottom 10.
Patton also apparently misses my bottom 10.
I have to rank it. Let me do that, and then I'll tell you where it lands for me.
We don't have any extra credit, right? No one watched MASH or 5 Easy Pieces or anything. We didn't have time.
What else were nominated? Just in case. I
Love
saw it.
Story and
It's
Airport.
brilliant season.
Okay,
None of
no.
us have time.
Yeah, 1970 is not a great year. I haven't seen a lot. 1970.
No, I talked about this with Boat yesterday. He was like, really, 5 Easy Pieces is running away with Best Picture in this year, and MASH is pretty good, but the rest of it's kind of bad.
Mhm.
I have Patton as my 29 out of 43. Well, 44, because, Sunrise, but whatever.
It is my 66 out of 76.
My 31 out of
I will say, now that we're out of the 60s, I have 5 Best Picture winners left to watch. And I am so excited because once we get to the 90s, I'm done.
That's cool.
seen
Next
the last one.
week, we're watching
yeah.
French Connection.
Yeah, coming soon. Oh, that's
Are
the-
we doing next week's? I forgot because of
That'll
Easter.
be the
Oh,
last
Easter.
episode we ever do, guys,
Nope.
by the way.
Nope.
Yep.
So in 2 weeks.
So in 2 weeks, we'll be back with the French Connection, which gives me time because
Oh.
I'll be watching everything but Nicholas and Alexandra. That extra credit class being A Clockwork Orange, Fiddler on the Roof, Last Picture Show, and Nicholas and Alexandra. So have fun with those. All of which are nominated for Best Director, with the exception of Nicholas and Alexandra, which is replaced in the director lineup by John Schlesinger's Sunday, Bloody Sunday, which is also a Best Actor nominee for Peter Finch. So love back. R.I.P. Topple, Best Actor nominee, Fiddler on the Roof. Norman Jewison back again.
Do I finally get to watch Fiddler on the Roof?
You
that-
should. Fiddler on the Roof is great.
I want
3 hours.
Come on, but I
Then the week after, we finally get to hit the granddaddy of all Best Picture winners with The Godfather. We're finally covering it. We also, in that Best Picture class, you have the options to do Deliverance, The Emigrants, and Sounder, which I don't think any of us are going to do, but I think a lot of us will be watching Cabaret because that's the big battle of movies in that year is The Godfather versus Cabaret. notably because Bob Fosse beat Coppola for Best Director in that year. We get to have
Valid.
that discussion. We also get to talk about Brando versus we get to talk about Marlon Brando in Best Actor, taking on both Laurence Olivier and Michael Caine for Sleuth, which is a brutal lineup. Also, we get to talk about Joel Grey beating not one, not two, but three supporting actor nominees from The Godfather
They
and James
split the
Caan.
vote, to be fair. That's why
And
that
James Caan, Robert Duvall, and Al Pacino all
Yeah.
nominated, none win.
It's a split vote thing, probably. Yeah.
It's crazy. Then the week after, we get to take a detour from the world of mobsters, but staying in the world of crime with the heist movie The Sting, which I've seen and love, with a Best Picture class of extra credits, including the return of Francis Ford Coppola with American Graffiti, which is directed by nominee George Lucas.
I'm a genius.
Cries and Whispers, which has got a picture and director nomination for Ingmar Bergman. William Friedkin in for director for his Best Picture nominee, The Exorcist, which is being remade this year by David Gordon Green. And A Touch of Class, which is not nominated for director. Instead, Bernardo Bertolucci was nominated for Last Tango in Paris, which Brando was nominated for as well. That's going to be an interesting year. Robert Redford's only Best Actor nomination. You got people like Pacino in for Serpico, Nicholas in for The Last Detail, Jack Lemmon beats them all, Save the Tiger. The Exorcist, which is an Ellen Burstyn joint for Jack. Yeah, Paper Moon, the youngest Best Actress winner of all, or Best Supporting Actress winner of all time, in Tatum O'Neal. Yeah, crazy shit. Then we're doing The Godfather Part 2, covering that one in what is probably one of the best Picture lineups of all time for us to cover on the extra credit, where you also have an option to watch Chinatown, The Conversation, Lenny, and The Towering Inferno. Once again, most of those Best Director nominees, including Fosse, Polanski, Coppola. However, we sub out The Conversation for Francois Truffaut's Day for Night and The Towering Inferno for John Cassavetes' A Woman Under the Influence. You also have one of the greatest Best Actor classes of all time, Albert Finney for Murder on the Orient Express, Dustin Hoffman for Lenny, Jack Nicholson Chinatown, Al Pacino The Godfather Part 2, and all lose to Art Carney for Harry and Tonto. Crazy. That is what we've pinpointed is the moment in time that diverges and ruins the Best Actor category for the next 60 years. That's the reason why Pacino beats Denzel. It's the reason why Denzel beats Crow. It's the reason why people, the whole ecosystem can be thrown off and traced back to Art Carney. We'll talk about that then. Yeah, and then after that is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
In the greatest year of Best Picture.
That is probably the best class.
Yeah, Barry Lyndon, Dog Day Afternoon, Jaws, and Nashville.
There's a better year this decade.
There probably is. Then the week after, which is probably my pick for the best class, Rocky wins with All the President's Men, Bound for Glory, Network, and Taxi Driver rounding out the Best Picture nominees, followed by Annie Hall, which beat The Goodbye Girl, Julia, Star Wars, The Turning Point, The Deer Hunter beating Coming Home, Heaven Can Wait, Midnight Express, and Unmarried Woman, and finally, the one that I believe Spence is referring to, Kramer versus Kramer beating All That Jazz, Apocalypse Now, Breaking Away, and Norma Ray. A lot of options. What?
Was Being There not nominated?
Being There? No. Being There was only nominated for Best Actor.
Oh, shit.
And one it was nominated for Best Actor, one Best Supporting Actor, and I believe nominated for not a screenplay. But yeah, it's gonna be that's one of the best Actor classes of all time.
That too.
Hoffman, Lemon, Pacino, Scheider, Sellers. It's crazy shit. But yeah, the 70s are gonna be fun. From here on out.
So excited for the 70s. I've seen all of them already, but I'm excited for the extra credit is what I'm more excited for.
It should be good from here on out. What blows me away and upsets me a little bit is that Murder on the Orient Express does not technically count as extra credit, but I think all of us should watch it.
Yeah, it's great. And plus,
because Murder on the Orient Express is the last Oscar for Ingrid Bergman, who is phenomenal. You also have Albert Finney, who's nominated, which is kind of crazy. Paul Dane gets nominated for the screenplay in a year of insane adapted screenplay nominees, where Godfather Part 2 beats The Apprenticeship of Denny Kravitz, Lenny, Murder on the Orient Express, and Young Frankenstein. Crazy class. So I just think the 70s are going to be fun as fuck.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I can't stress people enough. Watch Murder on the Orient Express. That's the best one. That book is not great, and Branagh's version is fine, but this version that Lumet does is fire. So,
I want to watch
Lumet's
it.
version is infinitely better than Brana's, I will say.
It is.
Although I still
Because
do
Because
really
what Lumet does is changes the structure of events to make it suspenseful. Brana does it in book order, and book order is shitty.
I
Death
didn't
on the
realize
Nile,
that.
though, the better book, the better movie, both times.
Interesting. Also, something I want to bring up about Patton, I think it was Caleb Boatman that said it, is once we get to the French Connection, it feels like 70s Best Picture winners, like from French Connection onwards to the end of the decade. Patton still feels like a 60s Best Picture winner that just happened to be released in the 70s. I believe it was Caleb Boatman that mentioned that, like last night or the night before we were all on call, or some of us were. But yeah, I thought that was a really good point, so I wanted to bring that up before we ended the show. I'm very excited for French Connection. Coho, I have a question for you. How do you feel about movies that don't exactly give you a lot of exposition as to and kind of just throws you into the movie without really explaining much? Because the French Connection kind of just starts and you figure out what's going on.
Kind of dig that idea, Cotton.
Yeah, I
Kind of
like
dig
that.
it. The thing that I really kind of want, I wish we could cover Sleuth. Like that's another one where it's like in years of 10. If they did years of 10 in the 70s, there would be movies that we would talk about as part of the extra credit that would rule, like Murder on the Orient Express and Sleuth, that are like just great fucking movies that just didn't quite crack picture.
Yeah.
Both have the same writer. Both those movies have the same writer. Fun fact.
Which movie?
Murder on the Orient Express, Sleuth, and Death on the Nile all have the same writer.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good.
All of them are great movies.
Awesome. Well,
all of which are directed by great directors also, because I believe it is Joseph L. Mankiewicz who is nominated for directing Sleuth.
No way.
Yep, he directs Sleuth and he's nominated.
That's
Lumet
cool.
is not nominated for Murder on the Orient Express, and then I believe John Guillermin is not nominated for directing Death on the Nile.
Dang. That's rough.
Death on the Nile nominated for one Oscar, won one Oscar. It was costume design.
I didn't know that either.
Costumes in that movie rip. Very good shit.
Awesome. Well, I think that about wraps it up for us here. It was a nice short episode.
Fuck Patton.
We'll see you next week when we get to the French Connection.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
I'm probably going to go out.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.